Today we're going to focus on search feed arbitrage, which has recently become a hot vertical, to say. Like practically is one of the easiest stuff to run on native, yet have a lot of potential that can be run easily with on a six-figure or more per month of ad spend without having too much risks. So the reason why I brought this up is because, as a matter of fact, there's been an increased interest into this type of campaigns. And for those who are not familiar with or are not so handy with working with landing pages, pre-sales, and stuff like that, this type of campaigns can become really, really easy to manage, and by the end of the day can bring considerable profits. So first off, I would like to start with how does search feed arbitrage work, and how do we benefit from it? So practically, search feed arbitrage is the process of buying the clicks for cheap, then selling them on a higher price on the search provider. And for anyone who has run search traffic, you should know that when we select the search network, we have an option, especially on Google, where we can check or uncheck or decide or not to include Google search partners traffic. Now, this is not necessarily limited to search feed arbitrage links that we're going to talk today. However, this type of traffic that is being run through native most probably is passing through this checkbox or through this type of search results. So at glance, what we do is that we buy traffic on native or on social networks, because as a matter of fact, this type of campaigns are being run on social networks as well, like Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok. And at its core, what we have is that we have a search feed link on a page, which will serve ads from search providers like Google, Yahoo, Bing, or maybe some other search providers. And on the other hand, what determines the revenue per click and what determines our revenue side is the search traffic buyers who bid on specific keywords. So practically, in terms of verticals and in terms of keywords, we are talking about those that have, let's say, local services that are of a great request in terms of search traffic volumes, like dentists or senior help or aid providers. It could be roofing services. It could be mechanics. It could be whole car sales or whatever other vertical you may notice as a trending one that has huge search volumes. So in terms of ads, we can see this type of ads on spy tools as well, like practically anything that we can see, like energy bills, electric repairs, hair loss, car sales, or dental implants, or cremation services, and everything like this can be seen on spy tools. So I had a question about finding this type of offers on spy tools on STM forum from one of the members. So I decided to maybe go over an example using Applexity. So let's say we're going to, let's say we get an account at the search feed providers, which I will cover in a bit, and we decide to run some traffic. So practically, we can insert some keywords in the ad info, and let me zoom this a bit. We can insert some keywords like Energia, or we can do like SUV in the ad info keyword search. We may want to set a limit of minimum running time of the ad of 5 days up to 45 days or something, as well as select here the last, let's say the last 2 months or 3 months. And like this, we can get the results of these ads. So by simply adding the keyword, I've tried to find some patterns in the domains, like trying to find a specific pattern in the headlines or something, or in the domains, but it has been a bit impossible. However, by simply typing the domain, or let's say roofing, sorry, type here, roofing services or something like that, can be quite easy to get into these ads. So let's see, like this example here, 2020 prices for roofing services could be cheaper than you think. Like if we open this ad and go through the link of this ad, we most probably are going to get into a search feed arbitrage, and we see that this campaign is being run in the United States, mostly on desktop traffic. And if we click on here, we should get to the search feed like this. So, all right, this is expired, but we can look at another one. Maybe this will open. All right, no, we got a funny image. So let me get some other like senior divorce lawyers. This could be another vertical, or by typing lawyer, we can get the results for lawyers, and like this ad in here. All right. And if we click on this, we should get the results. Here we go. This is a search feed page. Now, depending on the search provider that we have, it could be 1 or 2 click flow. Let's say if we're clicking on family lawyer income, we are going to get on the second page, and most probably this is a Google search feed. And here, because I'm currently based in Italy, I'm getting Italian experts in family law, fluent in English and Italian, or family lawyers, divorce lawyers in UK, London, UK, or divorce in Spain. So when we click here, we pass through a Google link, and if we see here, here we go. We have this Google AdServices.com page load, ad click, etc. So right here, using a simple browser plugin that monitors the redirects, we can see where what is the search provider of a specific ad, and where did it pass through. So here we got into a law firm web page where we can get in touch with by calling them or filling a form. And practically our main goal is to get the people to click on this second page. Like this is the main goal of the campaign. So we buy for cheaper and we sell this for a higher price. Now, in terms of finding this type of offers, what are the options that we have? So we have 2 options. It could be the easiest one, to contact a search feed provider ad network or offer network, which can be Tonic, which can be Domain Active or System One. Or the second most complex or most hard to deal with provider or way of getting these links is to get direct access to search engine, as a search engine publisher on Google, Bing, or Yahoo itself. So this second one is a bit more complex because it requires you to have some good history with them. Although on Google or on Google forums or some other forums, public ones, you may read that Google especially does not accept traffic from this type of campaigns. As a matter of fact, they still do, and you can still get access to this, especially if you are a company and you're big enough and you can get your hands into these huge search engines. So I would like to go a bit on the search feed arbitrage, generic guidelines or things to keep present about search feed campaigns. So first off, let's start with the payouts. The payouts generally vary from a few pennies up to a few dollars, on most often on a one-digit value in terms of dollars, whole dollars. And the payout is dynamic. And when I say dynamic, I mean it is dynamic on both the click level as well as on the publisher level. Now, what happens is that you can have a specific keyword where someone on the search network side is bidding like $2. Obviously, we're not going to get a $2 payout for that click, but we're going to get a rev share based on the terms that the network provides. And they know I haven't had the time to get into the specifics of that, of what could be their margin, but that doesn't matter at all at this point. But what happens is that besides the keyword, a big or a major role that comes into play is the publisher from where the traffic came from. So if you're running on Taboola or if you're running on Outbrain, you're going to notice that you're going to have more quality or a higher revenue, most probably, but it's not 100% this way. But generally speaking, you'll notice that you're going to get a higher revenue from a publisher or a tier one publisher or top publisher, a premium one, rather than on a second tier or third tier publisher that no one is bidding. So by even the networks that provide such search feeds may have some insights in terms of the quality of the traffic, and therefore make some decisions on the revenue that is able to be provided for those clicks. Then the links that we get for each vertical or each keyword group depend and are specific to a specific traffic source, keeping present most probably the competition, the bid levels on that ad network, as well as the traffic quality. So by separate links, I mean when we advertise on Taboola and on Outbrain or Rev content simultaneously for the same vertical or group of keywords, we're going to use three different links for each of the networks, and those links generally are divided even by geo. So if we are again providing this or promoting, let's say, lawyer services or divorce lawyers as a search feed result for US, UK, and Canada, we're going to get three different links. So in this situation, it is best to use a click tracker rather than direct click them without a click tracker in between to filter or redirect the traffic. Some of the networks require the verticals to be approved before you send any traffic or before you get the chance to get the search feed link. And by this, I mean the offer network. So keeping in consideration that we usually, when run native with classic offers, we tend to have only one side to take care of in terms of compliance. Like we only care about the traffic network mostly, even though the offer network may require, if we don't have much experience with them, some insights on the creatives that we're planning to use. But when with Search Feed Arbitrage, even though you might have a lot of experience with them and they know how you approach or promote these offers, they will still need to go through the process of approving your creatives first. Then after you have received an approval from the offer network, then you can upload them to the traffic source, then get the campaign running. So in this situation, we will have two parties to deal with in terms of compliance, and it will require time for both of them to approve the keyword, the creatives, and that includes both the image and the headlines. then the keywords are usually optimized by the search feed provider, meaning that we don't have to worry too much about the keywords. Like we may even get some specific search feeds, like out of the generic ones that the network has. But in terms of optimizing keywords and stuff, those are most of the time being done on automatic, even though some networks allow us to input our own keywords or optimize ourselves on the keyword level. Then, in terms of bids, since we talked about the process of getting approval and how everything goes, in terms of bids, we would like to be careful here not to go with bids like we used to do or like we're used to do with standard campaigns or generic lead generation or e-commerce campaigns. Now, I wouldn't suggest anyone to go with 75 cents a click to start with these campaigns, because the flow is has less friction and is less and is more simple than a lead generation campaign or an e-commerce campaign where someone has to pull out its credit card or debit card to make the payment online. And here we can start with pennies or a few cents, like on Canada or on US, you can start with 7 cents, 9 cents, 10 cents, 11, 12, something like that. And because the ad networks or the traffic sources know this type of campaigns, you will still be able to get access to premium publishers or to tier 1 publishers. It's a bit counterintuitive, or it doesn't make much sense at first, but as a matter of fact, you're going to be able to get traffic from premium publishers as well. And in the long run, these publishers are going to deliver most of the results for your campaigns. Now, as I said earlier, we have the offer flow depending on the search provider or search engine will differ. It can be one-click flow or two-click flow, and generally speaking, these offers, the conversions or the revenue generated from the conversions, tends to take up to 36 or 48 hours to be confirmed, which means we can have a revenue reported, as a matter of fact, by most networks within today, but that would be approximate. And that can be helpful on one side to make it can be helpful on one side to make any predictions or to estimate how our campaign is going. But on the other hand, what happens is that, let's say we're running today, we're seeing great results on the approximate revenue reported by a specific campaign. We could be at roughly 85 cents revenue per click. But what happens is the next day or after 36 hours, we see that the revenue per click has dropped to 68 or 65 or something like that. This is pretty normal to happen. Like, there's nothing to get angry about with your account manager or the service provider, search feed provider, because these things are as well confirmed by the search provider as well, in this case, Google, Yahoo, or Bing. And having that said, we would need to wait for the revenue to be confirmed. It can happen that there are some clicks or conversions that have no revenue at all, and that's pretty normal. So by the end of the day, we should focus on the conversion clicks that generate revenue and have things have some value generated from it. In terms of payment terms, I had another question about this on STM forum, or not question, but someone brought this up. Is that usually takes a month from for the payment to arrive. Now, a month, I mean, if we're running traffic on December, it means that we're going to get paid out for the December traffic by the end of January or something like that. It could be bothersome for someone, but on a positive note, we need to keep present that when running this type of campaigns, the results or the potential of the campaign is going to be visible right away. And by this, I mean, we don't have to spend $200 on a 90% negative ROI to make any decisions if this campaign is going to work or not, and deal with landing page optimization, landing page click-through rate and stuff like that. But odds are that we will see right from day one on a $50 or on a $100 ad spend how this campaign is going to perform. Most of the time, you will get an ROI on day one, maybe at around minus 40%, 50% negative, something like that, which can be recovered quite easily. The margins are not huge, but here we're playing with volumes, so it's less risky to get these campaigns going rather than working with traditional offers like lead generation or e-commerce, which, by the way, at the same time we might be promoting the same offer. Let's say I'm promoting the same offer as someone else is promoting. I'm having a payout of $7 while someone else with the same creative, same funnel, and everything similar might have a payout of $15. So these kind of things happen. There's nothing to worry about. The good thing is that with this type of campaigns, we can get things rolling quite easily without too much complexities. Now, we have, in terms of flows, we generally see that there are some people that don't use a click tracker. That's both for the performance or lower redirect time from the click on the ad level to the offer page. However, we haven't, or personally, I haven't seen any gain in terms of results when not using a click tracker. So this thing, using a click tracker will make things a lot better and a lot more comfortable, because we will have more things under control. So when we're using a click, when we're not using a click tracker, we will directly go from the native traffic source or native inventory to the offer page. And when using a click tracker, we will be able to pass through the click tracker and then go to the offer page. Now, what happens in this middle point here is that we are able to first redirect the traffic. Like if we have multiple if we're targeting multiple geos, or if we have some better optimized search feeds for desktop and mobile, or depending on the operating system, we can do some redirects and some conditional redirect of the traffic to the designated search feed. And besides that, we are able to even keep track of the revenue accurately. Like this is an example with both funnel flux and volume, which, by the way, are my two preferred trackers for this type of campaigns. Like here we can see on funnel flux that we can use if-else conditions, like if it is US traffic, we're sending them to a US search feed link. If not, then it's going to check if it is UK, and then if so, it's going to send them to the UK link, Canada, and global. So practically, we are able to redirect the traffic as we wish, or on volume, we can use paths to coordinate or to route the traffic from one based on the country or on the operating system or whatever else we need to do. Then the advantage of using a click tracker and when running multiple geos targeting on a single campaign is that we are able to lower our CPC or average CPC, because the more targeted the traffic that we're buying is, then the higher the CPC that we're paying for the traffic is going to result. Then, since we're using a tracker, and I mentioned that we can get an accurate revenue reporting, good old Excel is going to help us. So practically what we're going to do in general is that we're going to download the revenue or the stats from the search feed provider in an Excel format, where we will have the tracker click ID, how many visitors, how many lender visits or clicks and stuff like that, as well as the revenue. Then we can, what we need in this case is just the click ID of the tracker and the revenue. Then we can run some concatenate formulas to generate the total revenue. Now, I've done this with volume in mind, where we will need to enter or upload the click IDs and revenues for a custom conversion. Let's say it's a revenue correction conversion that we're uploading. And in this case, when using volume, I haven't found any alternative yet, or to be honest, haven't seen that in too much details. But we will need to temporarily disable the traffic source postback on the traffic source level for when we upload the conversions. Then if we're using funnel flux, then they have an option where we can easily choose if we want to post back the conversions on the traffic source or not. Anyways, these are specifics of the tracker, and it won't make any huge change or difference. Then, given that we're talking about volume in terms of traffic and campaigns and things to optimize, when working with the optimizer, we will be able to schedule the revenue upload for our campaigns, which means by knowing that every day we get the revenue confirmed for the previous days at, let's say, 10 a.m. in the morning, we know that we'll upload it by 12 p.m. or something like that, depending on how we have programmed our day. Then we can schedule an automatic update or upload of the data from our tracker to the optimizer, so that we can have the accurate revenue fed to our optimization platform, and be able to work with automatic rules, not to get too much crazy, and work with individual publishers on a penny level. Because by the end of the day, it's time spent plus investment plus what you get, or revenue or net profit that you get, that counts. So automation tools like the optimizer will help a lot in terms of optimizing this type of campaigns on autopilot. Then, being in the optimization subject, some things to keep present about these offers, or some of the key metrics that we would like to keep present about this type of offers, is the conversion rate, where practically we would like to keep present that we're not working with a 2% or 3% conversion rate like we used to when running standard offers or offers with landing pages. Now we're talking about 10 to 15% conversion rate from the ad click to the conversion. So this is a pretty important metric. On a 2-click flow offer, like for Google, we would like to have at least a 15 to 20% pre-sale or pre-lender click-through rate, which is visible on the offer network side. And there we will see that the name of a publishers, sections for Outbrain or sites for Taboola, the ad itself or the headline itself, because by the end of the day, these search feed providers will require you to pass the publisher information to each of the clicks. Then on the RPC or the EPC is also pretty important, because that will determine what we're paying for, and we would need to have an average CPC lower than the average RPC or EPC. So practically, these are at glance, out of the box, like the three main metrics that we need to take in consideration. Then moving on to the traffic sources, there are some preferences in terms of traffic from these search feed providers. Obviously, they love Facebook traffic or social traffic, like every other offer network. But in terms of native ad networks, the top preferred ones are Taboola and Outbrains. We know that they are highly competitive networks, but these tend to have the best quality and tend to be the most preferred networks from search feed providers as well. On Rev content, the CPCs tend to be a bit higher than Taboola and Outbrain. And given that there are many guys who are buying Rev content traffic for maybe stuff that is not allowed on Taboola or Outbrain, or running some semi-aggressive stuff that is not allowed on these two networks or on social networks, then most probably odds are that the clicks that you will see on Rev content or the CPCs that you will see on Rev content will be pretty high, especially when talking about new accounts, because some aged accounts will be treated differently. As strange as it may seem, this is how it works nowadays. Then we have MGAD, which most of the search providers won't like you to run MGAD traffic, but as a matter of fact, MGAD is one of the biggest or one of the main networks where this type of offers are being run, especially for dental implants or some aggressive verticals where you need to have an aggressive image and an aggressive headline. So obviously it's a matter of getting into an agreement with your account manager at the search feed provider. Then they will be able to get you some MGAD search feeds links, as well as you will have to keep present that the cost of traffic on MGAD will be way cheaper than buying that same traffic from Taboola or Outbrain. Then getting into the specifics of let's focus on two networks, Taboola and Outbrain. For Taboola, what we need to keep present, even though we're running, we're selling clicks, we're not selling a product or we're not selling a lead registration, we will still need to optimize for conversions, and smart bid can be a good way. Using smart bid could be a good way to start with. The pixel accuracy still sucks on Taboola, as a matter of fact, but we know that, and we will still need to feed conversion information to Taboola. So in this case, using our click tracker, we will be able to send to feed accurate information to Taboola. Then on the limitation side, we will have 1,500 sites on the account level that we can block, and 1,500 sites on the campaign level that can be blocked. So if you find yourself into a situation where you have reached the maximum of 1,500 sites blocked on the campaign level, and you need to block some more sites, out of the things that you can do first, you can move the worst performing sites, like those sites that you don't want to get traffic from on any type of campaign or any type of vertical. You move them to the account level. Then you remove by removing them on the campaign level, so that you get more room about the campaign level blocking. Then the second thing is to play with the site level bids, where you'll be able to have 200 up to 200 sites with custom bids from the campaign level bid, and that is the default limit on Taboola. If you're spending enough for them and you're rotating enough campaigns with them, and you have good relations with them, you can get this limit increased. Like you can reach up to 500 sites or even more with custom bids. And in terms of creative traffic allocation, there's optimize and even. When using optimize, we will have to keep present that no matter what the type of campaign that we're running is, the traffic source, in this case Taboola, will prioritize most probably, and most of the cases, only one creative. So if you want to properly split test ads and headlines, you will have to set the creative traffic allocation to even. And in terms of optimization hierarchy, you don't want to block anything that has most of the conversions of your campaign. You'd rather drop the bid than block that entity. It could be an ad or it could be a publisher. Like if it accounts for maybe 20% or more of your total conversions, I'd be careful with that because that will reset the learning strategy or the learning phase of a campaign. And when working with smart bids, we will have to keep present that Taboola will try to play with the bids from minus 50% up to 200% of your current bid or campaign level bid or site level bid in order to get you the conversion. So if you're bidding on the campaign level with like 53 cents a click, it means that your bid can range from 26 cents up to $1.06 a click. And on the site level, if we're reaching or increasing this bid by 20%, let's say it goes to 63 cents, then we'll end up having a range of bids which will play, or the smart bid can play from 31 or 32 cents up to $1.27 per click. So this is pretty much an overview of Taboola. When talking about Outbrain, we will have some different approach. There are three main optimization strategies: target CPA, fully automatic, and semi-automatic. Target CPA or fully automatic is something I've never tried with search feed campaigns, so I cannot advise on them, but semi-automatic is something that in general, even for other campaigns, has been working great. Still, we have issues with the pixel accuracy in terms of conversion tracking. And in this case, again, we would like to use the server-to-server postback from our tracker. Be careful when uploading conversions, not to send conversions back to the traffic source when uploading the confirmed conversions on your tracker, because sending them twice the conversions may give some false information to the algorithm and may screw things up for you. Then on the optimization limitations, we have by default 30 publishers and 100 sections that we can block on each campaign. The limit is not suitable for this type of campaigns, but as you get a few campaigns running with Outbrain and you reach the limit of blocking publishers, you can easily ask them to increase the limits for you because you're running this type of campaigns, and I'm pretty sure you'll get these limitations lifted or increased because they know how these campaigns work, and they also they also promote this type of campaigns to be run on their network. Like System1 is one of their preferred partners, so given that they already know how these campaigns work, they know the struggle, and they will get things rolling for you. Then we have the bids that will play, that will try to find the sweet spot based off the Outbrain's algorithm, where you will have bids playing from minus 100% up to 1,000%, both on the section level and content level. Then we have the traffic pacing, which is something that will influence also the way your campaign consumes or the way your campaign delivers the results. Now, on a per day traffic allocation, we will have only accelerated pacing of the traffic, which means that depending on our bid, Outbrain will try to consume our daily budget as soon as it can. Then when we go on a per month or per campaign traffic pacing, we will have accelerated, which will try to consume the daily budget or the allocated daily budget as soon as possible. Then we will have the standard and daily target. The standard will try to equally spread the ad spend throughout the days, but try to reach, maybe if I'm correct, try to reach an average performance in terms of results. Then the daily target will try to keep an equally separated daily ad spend from one campaign to another. Now, back to the optimizer for some examples that I mentioned earlier. So when working with these campaigns, what we want to do is that we want to have everything under one place, because we have the cost on one side and we have the revenue from the other side, which, by the way, is delayed, and we need to keep present of those things as well. So practically, when going into a campaign, we will need to analyze what's the conversion rate, as well as what's the cost and CPC that we're paying for our clicks. So let's say instead of looking at the landing page clicks, which I have in this campaign, but it's not the case, we will need to look at the tracker conversion rate as a metric that matters to us and has some sense for us. Like this metric here, CVR, means that is the conversion rate from click to the offer. Obviously, we're expecting to see something above 10% based off the average numbers that tend to be on this vertical or this type of campaigns. So we might want to be careful to this one, as well as the EPC. So here, what we would like to do, or we would like to watch out, is to always have an EPC higher than the average CPC, because we may be in a situation where we don't have it higher, or we don't need to have a huge difference between this, because otherwise we cannot recover from a losing placement or widget or site, whatever you would like to call them, depending on the traffic source. But as long as we're not double the CPC of the EPC, it is something that we can recover and we can optimize on. If we see that the average CPC is double the EPC, then it's worthless to keep going with that publisher. So we can either drop the bid gradually and see how it goes, or we can block the publisher right away. And when blocking publishers or creating rules, what we want to do is something like this. Like, we don't want to leave too much budgets in terms of spending. Like, we can select from today, yesterday, today, last 3 days, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 14 days progressively. And then we can work on this month, last 30 days, and up to 60, and up to last 90 days in terms of performance. So let's say we optimize based on the last 7 days on these campaigns. And since we don't have the revenue reported on the same day, or the revenue reported on the same day, it's not accurate, depending on the tracker that you're using, you can exclude today, or you can exclude today and yesterday to be ignored when looking at the data in order to make decisions. Then what we do is that we say if the spend is greater or equal to on an average 80 cents RPC or EPC search feed, we might want to go double the average EPC or RPC. So let's say if the spend is $1.6 or more, and we have an ROI, a tracker ROI worse than minus 70%, then we would like to block it. No matter what the publisher is, we don't care, because we're playing on the volume here. We're not playing we're not playing with the revenue, but mostly the revenue, the volume of conversions, in order to back up the revenue. Then here we can, either way, depending on our way of optimizing our campaigns, or depending on how much experience we have with these campaigns, we can include or exclude widgets, or we can apply some widget filtering on the automatic rule, which means that when we set include, we will have only a set of a selected set of widgets based on which this rule will run on. Or when we set it to exclude, then it will be a selected set of widgets that will be excluded from being optimized by this rule, like being blocked or having a bid dropped. Then we can have this campaign, or we can have this rule run every 10 minutes. And for every 10 minutes, for every execution that is being run, we will get an email notification with the details that we're going to have with the details that happened, what was blocked, and other information like that in terms of the rule execution. Something else you want to use is the smart list, especially for this type of campaigns where push traffic is not welcomed. Like when talking with your account managers at these search feed networks, most probably and most certainly every one of them will tell you not to send any push traffic, because it is a different ad format, and even the search engines don't like push traffic to be the source of their visitors. So in this case, what we can do is that we can get the search. We can find any of the publishers that are push traffic based on the description or the publisher name and include them in a blacklist. So let's say if I'm going here into this campaign and I will look at the publishers, an easy way to find them would be to search for the publisher name or widget name. So let's say we can do push here, and I don't remember if I have any push publishers here or notif or anything like that. So let's assume that some of these publishers are push traffic, just for the sake of demonstration. Let's get those that have an ROI of minus 100%. Let's select these publishers. We click on copy, get to the smart list. We select the traffic source we're applying the smart list to and paste them here. What it means is that as soon as this smart list is saved, we're going to block these publishers on all these Taboola campaigns. Or if we're working with Outbrain campaigns, it's going to block them on an Outbrain campaign, and so on and so forth. Then optionally, what we can do is that we can have automatic rules to block or to automatically populate this smart list in order to get more unwanted publishers to be blocked simultaneously on several campaigns at the same time. Also, getting back to the rules is blocking based off conversion rate. So given that Taboola and Outbrain, that are some of the most preferred ad networks, have some known delays that will range generally from 2 to 4 hours. What we want to do in this case is that we want to play on either the estimated costs or we want to play on the click level. Now, what happens in this case, we can do on the click level, we can say if traffic source clicks are greater or equal to 15 and the conversion rate and the tracker conversion rate is below a specific threshold, let's say it's below 7%, where we're seeking to have 10% conversion rate, then we can block them. Or we can say if we have 15 clicks and the conversion, we have no conversions, then we would like to block this publisher. Less or equal to 0, then we would like to block this publisher. So this way we can save a lot because, again, we are working with the quantity of publishers and quantity of conversions rather than we can have, as it happens with other campaigns where we have one conversion that can turn around the top, upside down the results of a specific campaign. Like maybe as an example, if we're working with a $30 payout or $50 payout on a $150 daily ad spend of a campaign, most probably one conversion can make or break the day, or two conversions will make or break the day. But in this case, we're looking to get as many conversions as we can. Again, here we can apply some widget filtering, and also we can have this on a today basis as a rule, like, or we can have this based off the last 14 days and not exclude any day from this interval, because we're working on conversions, not on revenue. Whenever we're working with revenue, then we will have to exclude some days from being taken in consideration, because that will affect the way our rules are going to deliver the results. Optionally, we can play with the estimated spend. And let's say if the spend is greater or equal to $2 and the estimated ROI is less or equal to minus 60%, then we would like to block this publisher. So these are some easy ways to make things work with this type of campaigns. Then what I would suggest to improve your rules would be to take a look at each campaign statistics and find specific patterns. Like you may see some publishers that have a lower conversion rate, but they have a higher RPC on average, or vice versa. So always consult your campaign statistics and view your campaign statistics in order to determine what would be the best rules for that campaign. Then you can start working on the bid change on the site level or section level. Let's say let's take Outbrain in this case, and let's do some section level bid changes. So what we would like to do here is that we would like to take in consideration at least the last 7 days performance of the campaign and exclude today and yesterday, which means that we're working on 5 days worth of data. And what we're going to do here is that we're going to add some conditions, like conversions need to be at least 3 or more, because we don't want to optimize our bids based off a single conversion. Then we would like to have an ROI ranging from a tracker ROI that is ranging from minus 20% up to, again, tracker ROI up to maybe 40%. And what we're going to do right now with this is that we're going to set the bid to a percentage of the EPC, let's say 80%, where we're trying to get to that 20% steady ROI. Again, here we can tell the system don't allow the bid to go this below this level, and don't allow the bid to go above this level. So it could be, let's say, not more than 25 cents a click. Now there's a trick that that you may need to use, especially depending on the countries that you're targeting. As we all know, both Taboola and Outbrain have some minimum bids allowed per campaign or on the network level. And what you can do in this case, let's say you're running a search feed arbitrage campaign in Mexico. And as a matter of fact, on Mexico, we will have an RPC on a pennies level. Like we may have an RPC like 5 pennies, 7, 6. Sometimes it could be 10 cents. Sometimes it could be 15, depending on the vertical as well. But what happens is that the network, let's say Outbrain, has a lower minimum level of 3 cents a click. Now, in order to overcome this 3 cents a click, one way around would be to use a different currency. Like if you get the chance to open up an account on a different currency, then you will be able to get on, let's say you open on a Canadian dollar, an account on Outbrain with a Canadian dollar, or on Taboola, you will be able to pay still 3 cents. I just put it $3 here for the sake of validating the form of the exchange site, but indeed you're paying 1.9 or 1.9 cents. So sometimes using these tricks in terms of currency and stuff will help us to get the best range of CPC and stuff that we will need to make a campaign going. Because when we think of it, it could be that someone has an account with an Indian currency, obviously where the difference is so huge, then in that case the bare minimum bid will differ on the network level as well. So it's not always the case where you can get to work with the lowest currency possible, like the less valuable currency possible. But when the currency is on a close range with the most used one, most probably you're going to get some additional margin on your campaign, or you can get some advantage in terms of bidding low because we're playing with small amounts, not with huge amounts of revenue. So as to close it up, in terms of scheduling the update, as I showed in the slides, we have this schedule here on the manual stats update on the optimizer, where we can practically select the traffic source where we're running traffic on, select the time zone or the time based of UTC time zone, and select the statistics we want to update frequently. Let's say we want to upload the statistics for the last 7 days, last 3 days. And what this will do is that every day on 2 p.m. UTC time zone, it is going to pull the revenue from the tracker in order to help us have the revenue always up to date. So I don't know if you guys have any questions or any additional comments. Maybe I missed covering something, or maybe I didn't go into too much details into something else. So please let me know if you have any questions or any comments about what we went through. In the meantime, I'm going to check a bit the comments and the chat rooms. All right, so we have a message from Yuri. Sì, Yuri, ce l'avremo la replay, quindi Yuri is asking about the replay of the video. So we're going to save the replay, and I'm going to upload that on our YouTube channel as well. That Angel is asking about too. And we have another question from Edward. So the traffic source postback for volume is disabled. So the postback only from the optimizer to the source. Not if I've understood the question correct. The postback from the traffic source needs to be done from the tracker, which means let's say you're using volume and you have set up the server-to-server postback for Taboola or Outbrain or Rev Content. Instead of placing Taboolas or the traffic source pixel on the offer network, you'll need to place the volumes volumes postback. Then volume will take care of sending back the conversions to the traffic source, because the traffic source postback will be configured on volume. I don't have a volume account live yet to be able to show you more specifically what I need, what I mean about that. But when uploading conversions manually on your tracker, you may need to stop or to temporarily disable the traffic source postback or invalidate it, because if you're sending conversions once again, let's say for yesterday, if you're uploading yesterday's conversions manually that you already reported yesterday on Taboola or on Outbrain, you're going to report them once again, and you will see a spike in conversions on Taboola, which will not be real, and that may influence how the results of the pixel or of the algorithm of the traffic source will influence on your campaign. So when working with volume, always try not to post back conversions back to the traffic source. Or when working with custom conversions, what you can do is that you can, when creating the custom conversion, you can actually set the custom conversion to influence the revenue, but not to send a conversion report back to the traffic source. So it's a small technicality, but by the end of the day, The thing is that when working with the click tracker, it will be basically easier and more efficient to run campaigns rather than running directly without using a tracker. All right. Do we have any other questions, or how hard is? Oh yeah, this is a good one. How hard is it to get accepted on search feed sources? Actually, it's not that easy. Like practically, they will require you to spend at least 3 figures a day, or close to 3 figures a day, because this type of networks are trying to work with publishers that can deliver volume, since it's a matter of clicks volume, in order to back up the revenue and the ROI. So most probably you will need to spend at around 3 figures a day as a bare minimum, or let's say $500 a day or something like that, or $300 a day as a bare minimum in order to get accepted, because some of them will ask you even for screenshots from your traffic source account, and at that point it's impossible to get around this stage. Plus, I would always encourage, as always, I encourage to be clear and direct with the partners that you're working with, because by the end of the day, it's a matter of trust that will help you in the long run and get things going. Like as the account manager will help you on getting good verticals or good keywords. That's something that always pays off in the long run. So you'll have to be sincere with them when declaring your ad spend. But it's something that it's not that really hard. At least the way I see it, it's not that complex, but you will need to go through some filters. All right, let me check this again. Yep, I think we're done with the questions. There's the last one. Where can we see the recording of this training? I will upload it to YouTube and send the replay link to all participants. And of course, it will also be available on our Facebook page as for a replay. We don't delete our live stream, so you can always get back and watch it as your reference for future use in order to get your campaigns running. Thank you guys, and I really appreciate your time and attention to this webinar. I hope you get your things rolling on a good foot with this type of campaigns, as well as the others. And as always, try to work smarter, not harder. So take a look at our optimization platform, because you will get a lot of benefits from having the machine dealing with the machine, instead of having you to deal with the machine and leave out human work from being handled and from being managed properly. Thanks again for your attention, and have a great day. Bye-bye.